joining.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Hello to everybody. Look at everybody. Oh my gosh, JJ. Oh, it's so good to see you, JJ. It's been a long time. You can unmute. Tell us how you're doing. It's good to
Oh, good
see you.
morning. Yeah, it's good to see you. How are you doing?
Oh, you know what? I'm great. I thought I would see you maybe at the drone event. There's Sheila. I'm impressed. Uh, I thought I'd see you at our drone mix and mingle that we had over the weekend. And I was like, oh man, JJ's just way too busy these days.
Oh, I missed that. I didn't know what was going on.
Okay. Well, I'm working on another one coming up. It would be the first Saturday of the new year. Let's kick off 2024 with a drone event, right? The mix and mingle was great. Carolyn, you were there, and she just shut her mic off. Hi, Deb. Good to see you. I love it.
Nice
And
seeing you.
Yes,
oh, I
was
love it.
here.
All right, Carolyn, see you again because you were at the event. That was good. So if I
Yes,
had to say anything new, I would say that
yes.
drone mix and mingle. That mix and mingle was phenomenal. Carolyn, what was so great about it?
The networking was awesome. Also meeting other drone people at doing different jobs. Everybody wanted to get into drones full time. And yeah, it was just making new friends and also hearing all the stories. So some people had very beautiful stories.
Yeah, and the variety. I love the verticals that everybody was in. And I knew Exactus was coming as a guest speaker. And so I have to say, I said several times, oh, if you're into doing drone work, you got to be here at the Coffee Connection this week. So I'm super excited to have done a few shout outs for that as well. So it's really good to see everybody. I'm super excited. I really do have a lot of announcements. So I'm going to bump over to that really quick, like before we get over to our spotlight speaker for today. And so I'm going to put a few links in there. First of all, I want to do a big shout out for our sponsor, Sabre Wing Aircraft Company. They have done so much for women in drones. So I'm just really, really thankful for everything that they're doing for us, and a sponsor for Women in Drones and the Coffee Connection. Also, I have put out a blog, I guess, or maybe you'd say a post for some holiday gift giving things. I had so much fun doing this blog post and kind of shopping. Here's my wish list, and here's some things that work really well for me in the field. So I put that together. I'm going to give you a link for that. And then I also want to do a quick reminder that we have our holiday party coming up, and that's going to be December 19th. I'm encouraging you to come, bring a friend, wear something festive. And I want to do a shout out because, you know, we always give away a ton of gifts. And I already have Jennifer Pigeon giving away training and books and a tote bag. Sharon's giving out the water bottles. Desi's going to give her book and also a one-on-one drone coaching session. Joanna has volunteered to give some things away, and so is Loquata. So I'm super excited. You definitely want to be there. A ton of fun, just networking, having a good time for that one. What date? That's December 19th. Hey, Delisa's here. Hi. I love when you open up your screens because then I can see everybody. It's so cool. Felicity's here and I can see Jill. Nice. Awesome. Roseanne, you can't do your screen because quite often she's teaching a class at the time, but we're glad to see her. All right. With that, I am going to put all these links into our chat. I don't think I've actually made Sheila a co-host yet, so I'm going to
Don't you dare. Don't, no.
Okay,
I'm driving.
Sheila can't help because, okay, so this is really funny. This is not funny. It's awesome. Actually, Sheila, who always handles my behind the scenes stuff right now, she can't actually be handling that for me because she is out working for Exactus Energy, right? Isn't that what this is all about? We're super excited to have you both here. Katherine and Ben are here with Exactus Energy, and they're going to be sharing, I've made them spotlight, they're going to be sharing about opportunities in the solar industry. So I'm going to go ahead and segue over to both of you. And if you'd like to share screen, we will hold questions, but we want to see those questions into our chat. But we're going to go through the PowerPoint and then address the questions. All right. All right. Ben, I'm going to go ahead and make you spotlight for everyone. And Katherine, thank you so much for joining us. There we go.
Thank you so much, everyone, for having us. It's really great to be here, actually. You remember that we have been emailing back and forth for over the last month or so. So it's really great to see this come to fruition finally. So yes, really excited to be here. Just super quickly going to share my screen with you all. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Oops, I went straight to the last.
There you go. I was going to say it's not in presenter view, but now you are. You're good to go.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So yes, once again, I just want to thank everyone for welcoming us into this session. My name is Ben, one of the Exactus Energy field operations specialists, and also one of the subject matter experts of the company. I'm joined with Katherine, who's a fellow field operations specialist. And yes, today we are here just to talk about what we do, pretty much what we do, and what specifically we're looking for, and also just to give you a quick overview of usually the drone work and other work that we do on site. So yes, thank you so much again. And very much I just want to start off by saying that here at Exactus Energy, we are an engineering firm. And by this, I mean that we do all the behind the scenes and engineering work for the solar installations. We don't do any installs, but we work with clients. And as we say here, we empower clients to fight climate change through modern engineering services and seamless solution. We also like to say that we provide I forgot the word, but sorry, we also provide progressive engineering solutions for most of our clients. So yes, this is pretty much us. And just as a quick overview of when the company started and everything, Exactus Energy is a professional service firm specializing in the solar engineering industry. The company was founded by Eddie Obiliunas and Matthew Jaglowitz, and we are a Canadian-based company, specifically in Toronto. And the history of Exactus is quite interesting. Exactus has started in a backyard by both Matthew and Eddie, and due to the rapid growth of the renewable energies industry, all of a sudden, a few years into the business, they found themselves with a fast growing company. And up to this moment, between at least internal staff, we are over 200 employees. So yes, Exactus has been growing fast, and thankfully we have been, we believe that we have left our mark, and due to that, we are currently working with some of the biggest US clients in the solar market. But yes, pretty much the purpose of what Exactus was born, it was because the desire of both Matthew and Eddie to harness the power of drone technology to provide the accurate engineering solutions safely and with rapid turnaround times. And as I mentioned, what started as a small grassroots company has now become an experienced team of engineers, technicians, and clients service professionals who we are specialized in the solar industry. So yes, Exactus has been around for almost 10 years by now, and we are definitely looking forward for more years to come. And well, yes, that's who we are and how we started. So at the moment, I'll pass it on to Katherine so she can go a little bit more, a few things with you guys.
Okay, perfect, Ben. Thank you so much. Now that we understand a little bit more about what Exactus Energy does, let's go to understand why do we do solar. So there are many reasons to join into the industry, but the main one that we have would be the continued growth, because the solar industry has been experiencing sustained growth due to the increasing awareness of renewable energy, and of course a global shift towards cleaner technologies, and solar is not the exception here. We also have cost reductions. The cost of solar technology, including solar panels and all the associated equipment, has been decreasing over the years. So this is making solar energy competitive with traditional energy sources. So this is one of the most significant reasons for us to be doing solar. Also, the technological advancements. The ongoing progress in solar technology, such as improvements in efficiency and energy storage capabilities, are driven the industry forward. Of course, the energy storage integration, which is related to the previous one, is here the batteries play a really significant role, because now this is not only about being able to capture in solar energy, but also being able to save it and use it through the time. So I think this is one of my favorite reasons for us to be doing solar. Also, we have government incentives and policies. In this case, including credits and subsidies, played a significant role in shaping the solar market. So every single changes in regulation can impact the industry's growth path. So I think that's a benefit for the industry to be able to consider the government incentives and policies too. But we also have corporate renewable energy adoption. In this case, we have many businesses and companies that are increasingly adopting solar energy as part of their initiatives. I'm sorry, this is a growing trend, so we are being positive impact for that. And last but not least, we also have innovation in financing models. We have different models such as solar leasing or maybe power purchase agreements. And while these are continuing evolving, this is making solar installation more accessible, not only for companies, as we already mentioned, but also for homeowners getting solar panels. So with that in mind, now let's go to understand why do we use drones? So can you pass to the next? Okay, thank you so much. The first reason of why do we use drones would be, of course, the efficiency and speed. Drones allow for quick and efficient aerial service, significantly reducing the time required for inspections. This, of course, compared to traditional methods. And as you can imagine, speedy inspections mean faster turnaround times to clients and better client satisfaction. We also have comprehensive aerial perspective. Drones provide a bird's eye view of the entire solar installation or maybe of the entire house roof in our case. And this allowed the surveyors to assess the entire system comprehensively. This perspective will help to identify potential issues, shading problems, or other factors that may impact the solar efficiency. So this is really nice to consider. We also, and going on the same path, we also can consider precision and accuracy as a reason for us to be using drones. Drones are equipped with high resolution cameras and sensors that will provide precise data, ensuring accurate measurements and assessment. And of course, the detailed data capture enables engineers to make informed decisions and recommendation for optimal solar panel placements. And I would say this is my favorite one, is the safety and risk mitigation. Drone inspections eliminate the need for our surveyors to physically climb into the roofs or navigate challenging things. So this is of course reducing the risk of accidents or injuries, and contributing also to a positive work environment and minimizing potential liabilities. So I love this one, and being able to be part of the use of drones on this safety and risk mitigation it's awesome. We also have cost effectiveness. In this case, drones can lead to cost saving compared to traditional inspection methods that may involve additional equipment and labor. Of course, would put more risk on the technician or on the inspectors. So it's gonna involve additional costs. And the efficiency of drone service allow the company to offer, of course, competitive pricing while maintaining a high quality services. And again, last but not least, the technology integration it's really important for us. The drone technology integrates easily with other digital tools and softwares, streamlining the data collection and analysis process. So this allows us to automate data processing and analysis tools can be employed, enhancing the overall efficiency for the solar inspection workflow. So this is really important for us. This is making us faster on getting results for our clients, and of course, it is translated. It is turned around on the client satisfaction. Now that we understand why do we do solar and why do we use drones, let's see what do we collect for a drone inspection here. So this is not limited to this, but the most significant items that we would need to collect on a survey would be top-down photos, orbit photos, shingle quality and shingle layer close-ups, obstructions that may shade the roof, horizontal ridge sag, and bird's eye view property shot. And what's this for? You may be asking. So in the next two slides, we can see an example of how a modeling or have the top-down photos and the orbit photos look like. So this here we have the orbit pattern. So this is a job that one of our technicians made, just collecting the orbit pattern, and we just joining all the photos to making sure this is something like a gift and is more visible for us. But this is all what we need. Just fly around the house and get as much detail as you can, following the pattern and following being on the same height and making sure you collect the entire house. The next one is the top-down pattern. This is also the same. You can just set up your drone on a specific pattern and just start the flight. Just going up and down, collecting the entire roof surface. And that will be it on regarding the drone. So now Ben is gonna talk a little bit more about how this data will help us and what do we need.
Thank you so much, Catherine, for that. So I just want to touch base and let you and speak how this data is helping us. Catherine made a lot of emphasis on the fact that we work or we try to work with the most technology possible. And the main reason for this is because most of Exactus internal processes are automated. So the way we do this is that once we get the photos through an automation process and our design team, we get the drone photos stitched together just to get the 3D model or render and of the house. This way, we can start doing all the engineering process behind the installation, such as checking interconnection for all the electrical equipment, checking if the panels placement would be, or if the roof has enough space to the panel placement or number of panels that the client is looking to install. And yes, we use the model to measure the roof and any obstruction that will cause shadings into the system. Also, we use the photos of the shingles that will help us determine if the roof needs to be replaced before installing the solar panels, or maybe any other maintenance work needs to be done. And lastly, we use the photos of the ridge stack to determine how the home is looking internally in terms of structural, if the rafters are in good condition, if there's any repair that needs to be done before placing the panels, as we need to ensure that the roof is, and the structure itself is capable of supporting the weight of the panels for at least the 20 plus 5 years to come. So yes, pretty much this data help us to make a full assessment of what of any needs that the home may have, or any improvement, or maybe sometimes we have been in positions where there's a homeowner that only wants to install on one side of the roof, but after looking at the results, he realized that he now wants to have the full roof full of panels. So it really depends. We can determine good or bad things. Most of the time are good things, and also most of the time the things that we found are things that we work together with our clients just to ensure that we go through a seamless engineering process and all the way up to helping them with the installation of the system. Although I did mention we don't do any installs, we just make sure that everything is in good shape before they proceed with installation, and we are responsible for flagging any red flags before they move forward into that last step of the process. Then there's another thing that I want to discuss with you, and this is probably something that I wouldn't say can be confusing, but can be lost. But I have to say that the aerial images or the drone flight is represents about 33% of the actual work that we do on site. The rest of the work it's simple enough. We just need to gather some other information, such as we go into attics, and well, we don't climb into attics. We just take some photos, 360 photos of the condition of the attic, just to ensure that it's in good condition. And also we take simple measurements, such as the size and spacing of the rafters, just to make sure how the structure is doing overall and how many panels can be placed per section. And in addition to that, just for interconnection purposes, we also need to collect some electrical information. And by this, I mean we only need to get some close-up photos of the utility meter that it's usually outside of the home. And also we need to collect some photos with the cover on and off of the main service panels, just to see how the breakers are interconnecting into the electrical system of the house. And in addition to that, if there's maybe any sub panel present or something similar, we do the same process. We just make sure we just take the cover off and take photos showing the wiring, and we just take a pattern, let's say like 10 photos per breaker panel. And yes, that's pretty much it. So in general, our site service are made of the drone fly, the structural information, and the electrical information, just to mention the three main items. There might be a couple of instances where you also need to get some extra information depending on the home, because we work with a lot of different types of home, and this goes from single family homes up to multi-family homes, sorry. And yeah, all of these homes tend to present different variations in the way they are built, or the way the electrical the electrical system is interconnected. Also, the size of the home plays a big role into the information that we need to collect. So yes, it's I wouldn't say we treat every home as a case by case, but definitely you will find some situations where you will notice that you're doing a site survey for a particular home, and that it's not a standard residential or single family home. So yes, those are the three main components that make up our site service or inspections. In addition to this, how do we get the data that is collected on site? Well, we do have a couple of apps or platforms that we use for this. First, we have the Site Capture app, and this application has actually been very beneficial to the company in a way that it has helped us streamline our uploading process and review and Q&A review for the data that we receive from the technicians. Mostly because Site Capture is an application that is uploading the data collected on site in real time. So it's pretty much a checklist, and it will ask you, for example, in this section, you will need to upload the electrical photos, and in this section, please upload the structural information. And as soon as you're uploading that information, it's reflecting on our end. So our Q&A team can go ahead and start reviewing and see if we got enough. So yes, it's that part is a bit of a live process, and it, as I mentioned, it's been helping us a lot in terms of streamline and be up to date with the service level agreements that we have with the clients. In addition to that, we also use Dropbox, which is a very popular platform. And for Dropbox, we only use it to upload the roof photos. And for these roof photos, between the orbital and the grid pattern and the eye beard shots and everything, and depending on the size of the home, we do require between 60 to 100 photos. It can be a little more. Some technicians go up to 120, but as I mentioned, that's depending on the size of the home, and you can feel free to use your own knowledge to consider if you already had enough information or not. Either way, as field operations specialists, we are always available to give you live assistance. So you will have access to a support line number where you can give us a call while you're on site, and you can let us know how everything is going, or any questions that you may have, or any issues that you might be facing on site. And we will do our best to give you the best instructions to get through it. And last but not least, we also have Hover, which Hover is pretty much a replacement when we can do a drone flight. Main reason for this is because as drone pilots, you may know, or you may have encountered sometimes that in particular this time of the year, that the weather is not great. Maybe there are high winds. It's raining. Or sometimes you're located in a no-fly zone or a temporary flight restriction. It's placed in the area. So in those cases, we use this application, and Hover pretty much help us create a preliminary 3D model that our engineering team can use just to move forward with the engineering process. However, most of our clients, even if you complete a Hover, most of our clients will still ask us to go back and complete a drone flight. And the main reason for this is because we still need to consider consider and assess the roof condition. So, but yes, pretty much Hover is an alternative that we use whenever we are unable to fly, and just to keep the project going to avoid any delays. But it's just pretty much as an alternative that we use when it's required. But as I mentioned, most of the time we still need to go back and do a drone flight just to confirm and assess the roof condition. And then what's next at Exactus? So Exactus Energy, besides doing, let's say, the whole engineering package, which goes from the site survey all the way up to the plan set of the system that is going to be installed in the homeowner's home, we also do something that is called post-install service. And for this post-install service, this is something that we actually have Sheila doing at this moment on site. But the post-install service, it's our thermal imaging service. And well, pretty much thermal imaging plays a crucial role in the solar inspections because after after the client finish an installation, they will ask us to go back and get some thermal thermal imaging of the system that is already installed, just to ensure that the system is working as expected, or to detect if there are maybe any panels that are not generating as much as they would like to. So in context, we capture these infrared radiation photos, and it's often employed to assess the performance and health of the solar panels and related components. So this is our post-install part, and at this moment, when we finish this assessment, we provide the data to the client, and the client is like, okay, we can confirm that the system is working perfectly fine. So at that point, we can consider that package to be closed out. Or sometimes we found out on site that some panels are not working, or maybe something is failing in the system and not producing as expected. Then the client will go and make any necessary changes. And then after that, it will make us go back and just to do the same process to ensure that it's working fine. But yes, it's pretty much these thermal flights actually are not as detailed as the ones that we explained before. On these ones, we just require between 40 to 50, maybe 60 photos, depending on the system size, just to make sure that we are capturing all the system that is installed, and just going pretty much through every single panel that is already installed and make sure that it's working fine, or just capture the information. But yes, we don't need an orbital. We don't need a top-down pattern. We just need pretty much close-up photos of the panels that are installed. So yes, this is where we finish the engineering packages for the clients. And yes, last but not least, we have this great phrase from Arnold Schwarzenegger, which says the future is green energy, sustainability, and renewable energy. And we believe that these words are, well, we believe these words to the heart, mostly because we know or we have seen how the renewable energy market has helped not only the nature but the world itself to come to to just pretty much start healing again. And also we do see this our way as to combat climate change, even if it's just a small grain. We believe that what we're doing is a little step into a brighter future for the world in general. And we do believe that if we continue this path, at some point we might just see an increase in this type of energies, and also seeing more homeowners or even the government approving more incentives for everyone to get involved into this and be interested in having having a solar system installed in their home. Either way, they can still choose any other option of residential renewable energy that might work. But in the end, we know that at the moment, at least, the most easy to access option will be the solar energy. But yes, last but not least, this is what we do. This is who we are. So we want to invite you that if you're interested in joining our team, you can send us an email to our tech onboarding at Exactus Energy email address, and our recruitment and onboarding administrator will make sure to get you in touch with us. And we do these screening calls where we pretty much explain all the process. We go a little bit more in depth in a few things. But other than that, something that I actually just realized we forgot to mention, and I'll just go a little back on the slides because I don't know how we jump for this. Sorry, how we jump this. but these are our current active markets that we have at the moment. We have presence in both West and Southwest, Midwest and Southeast, and the Northeast. And as you can see, active markets that we have at the moment are California, Colorado, Nevada, Utah, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Illinois, Missouri, Ohio, Michigan, Florida, Georgia, North and South Carolina, Virginia, and Kansas. And in the Northeast, we also have Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, and Maryland. And also, we recently started working in some other areas, such as New Hampshire, for example, in the Northeast. And we also, we are slowly getting into, but we are getting into in the Minnesota market. So yes, but so far, these are the active markets that we have at this very moment. So yes, just going back to our last slide, if you're interested or if you are close or in any of these active markets, feel free to reach out. One thing that I must mention is that this time of the year might be the best time to join. And main reason for this is because the solar industry faces the winter season, which is our slowest season of the year. But this will help you to get through an onboarding process, and we will be, I wouldn't say more available because we're always available, but we will definitely be more on top of helping you guys getting through the process. But yes, that's pretty much for what we have for today. I don't know if you, Catherine, may have any last thoughts or something that you may want to add.
Well, more than additional thoughts, I think we can go through the different questions that our team made. Thank you, Sheila, for helping us answering most of the questions, but let's go through it again.
Yeah.
So the first question we have here is the average training time to get going with Exactus.
Before we get going, can we circle back one really quick? Like, one of the things that a lot of people have been asking about is, that onboarding thing. So really quick, I'd like to have everybody just take a screenshot, a picture, or Catherine, can you also put that email address into our chat? Because there
Sure.
has been a lot of chat already about how do we get on board? And so I want to make sure that everybody's got this screen, because we'll drop down your screen and go through all the questions. There's a lot of questions, a lot of people very excited to hear more when we talk about drones, training, all that. So did everybody get it? Catherine's got it in there?
Everyone has it. Desi, I do hope so. And I'm going to hit the road again, but everybody, I can't tell you enough. Exactus is great. They're responsive. They put you on a calendar. You open up your calendar and they'll populate you with jobs. So if they have what they call volume or surveys in your area, they're going to get you working. So I've been with them over 200 surveys now. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask me any questions. So good luck, everybody. I hope it works out on either way, definitely.
Awesome. Thank you, Sheila. Okay, get back to work. Awesome. So yes, Catherine, we do have a lot of questions popping in there, and feel free to start where you feel necessary. I can guide you through some of the questions that I'm seeing as well.
Oh, yeah, if you can just organize the question and send it out to us, that would be great. So we are able to, we're not gonna miss any.
Okay, so starting off, there's been a lot of questions about just the onboarding process and the training and the time involved for that training. Can you kind of elaborate on that for us?
Yes, sure. So it depends. We definitely, we usually give 1 week time to get through the onboarding process. The onboarding process is made up of 11 courses. Each course take about 5 to 15 minutes to be completed. And at the end of that, we do ask you just to go over a practice survey in the comfort of your own home or family's or friends' home, just to ensure that you're understanding what you just went through the courses. And finally, we ask you to upload that information to us. We do a practice survey review, and yes, pretty much we do that just before sending you to your first live job. So you don't feel that you just finish and then you're starting to work. No, we give you the opportunity to go through everything that you learned through the courses. And also, we have had a couple of new trainees that during the practice survey, they have given us a call and they're like, hey, I'm having this issue. For example, there's a tree blocking most of the roof, and if I try to fly over there, my drone will get stuck. So what is your recommendation? And you just go like, okay, I know we provide you like in a specific altitude, but in those cases, feel free to, for example, we ask you to fly 15 to 20 feet above the tallest object that is causing any obstruction. So yes, but overall, the onboarding process shouldn't take more than a week. But obviously, if you can pretty much finish it at the time that you like. If you get it done in 2-3 days, that's perfect. If you get it done in one day, that's perfect. But our preferred timeline, or the timeline that we give you to go through, it's 1 week.
Awesome. Thank you. And what I found very neat about what your program is doing is it's a little bit more unique in such, it's not just drone flights. You're offering so much more for your clients and providing so much more data. And so going through that training builds that confidence for all the pilots that are going out there. And I love that aspect of it. Segueing on, there's been a lot of questions into our chat about the actual equipment that you're using, the drones that are required. Is there certification for that thermal side of things? Can you elaborate a little more on that?
Yes, definitely. So we don't have any specific list of drones that you can use, well, at least for the standard residential side for the thermal, but at the moment, and due to some limitations with the machine learning tools that we're working with, at the moment for that side, we're mostly working only with DJI drones. But when it comes to the site, to the general site service where we require the orbit and top-down photos, we don't have a specific list. We have technicians flying DJI. We have technicians flying Outel. We have also some technicians flying some outdated drones such as Phantom 3 or 4. So yeah, really, what we look for mostly is we just require the drone to have to tag each photo with GPS metadata, which is required for model running. We also require this GPS data to be as accurate as possible, because we take that information to go over to ensure that we're building the correct design and model for the home. And last but not least, and I would say one of the, if not the most important requirement that we need on a drone, is that we require the drone to have a 3-axis gimbal. And this pretty much is just to ensure that the images are horizontal. Because if we, for example, introduce some tilt into the images, it will cause some model issues. And yeah, sometimes we just need to go back and try to do as much as we can in a drone flight. And in addition to this, the next most important part is that to ensure that your drone is providing exceptional or great image quality. We do require this to have a good resolution and lack of motion blur. And I would also say that we do require the drone to have a good flight time per battery. For example, if your drone can get at least like a 20 up to 25 minutes with one battery, that will be ideal, because that's how usually your drone flights take, about 20 to 30 minutes. So we want the drone flight to be completed in I would say one single shot, because sometimes the pattern get a little disrupted and we need to kind of connect the dots and see how everything is being built out. So, but yeah, pretty much those are our main requirements. But yeah, we don't have a specific list of drones, but if your drone complies to all of this, then it's eligible.
So just to reconfirm, because of some of the questions into our chat, as far as is a thermal drone required, or how about RTK? Do you need specifics as far as it being an RTK drone?
Not at this moment, actually. Yeah, no, not at this moment. I have to tell you that RTK is something that we mostly use on the commercial side of business, but our commercial side at this moment, it's a little smaller, so not really, it's not fully necessary at the moment. And when it comes to requiring a thermal drone, um, it really depends. Most of our thermal work, we do have presence in most of states, but it's not fully necessary. I mean, if you are onboarded to work on residential side, then if you have a drone that it's a non-thermal drone, it's still fine. But maybe at some point, if our thermal job or thermal volume increases and reaches your area, then we might start a conversation about it. But it's not fully necessary. And I even have to admit that this thermal side of this business, we have been doing it for a little less than a year at this moment, so it's still somehow new.
Gotcha. All right. Do you have a minimum hours that you would prefer a pilot to have before they apply?
Not really. No, not really. We do have I mean, we're very flexible in that sense. So what Sheila just mentioned is that you will be setting up a calendar with us. And in that calendar, for example, if you are available only on Sundays, then you can just put your availability on Sunday. But yeah, it's really up to you. We have some technicians that are posting full-time availability, some technicians that are seeing us as a part-time gig. So yeah, we are very, very flexible in that sense. However, something that I must mention is that if we notice an increase in volume in your area, we will be reaching out to you and see if you have any more that you can add so we can fit as much as possible into your calendar.
Awesome. Jill, I wanted
Well-
to add on to that actually, regarding the flight hours and all that. Does a pilot need to have their insurance, their own insurance, or is that covered through the company?
It's a good question. Yeah, we do ask for everyone to have their own insurance. Although I have to tell you that if we are always flexible, and if you encounter any issues while working on something with us, we do our best to assist you as much as we can. But yeah, preferably we ask everyone to have their own insurance.
Awesome. And I am going to copy the onboarding again because there's still a lot of comments and questions in there about hiring and the areas. Obviously, we have a lot of people throughout, not only just here in the United States, but global a lot of times for the Coffee Connection. But as far as applying and where there is possible opportunities, do you just encourage everybody to apply, or do you know specific locations? Because we have a lot of people here that are excited to maybe on board.
Yes, definitely. On the top of my head, I don't know specific locations, to be honest. But something that I must mention is that you you may maybe go into Indeed, because we always have a post up in various states. But also you can feel free to reach out to us, and we can let you know if there's anything available in your area. Worst case, what we do, we have a database where we just save your information, and if we start seeing a growth in a specific area, then we will be the ones getting in touch with you. So yeah, definitely the opportunity is always there. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, definitely you can check the Indeed post that we may have active at the moment, or you can just shoot us an email, and we will definitely more than happy to let you know.
Awesome. Is there any way that they would be able to say, hey, we saw you on Coffee Connection, just so that they can make that little bit tighter connection for you?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So I know we're just about out of time. Looks like Carolyn just said, just sent an email. And Jan was wondering about pay. I don't know if you want to have a conversation off of that, or maybe just give us a ballpark kind of a pay, because I know that's one of those open subjects.
Yeah, well, it's mostly something that we discuss during the onboarding process. But I have to tell you that our pay rate breaks down in pretty much 3 rates, which are the basic rate, the standard rate, and the premium rate. Each rate it's classified as such depending on the work that you need to do on site. In addition to that, something that I can also tell is that we do provide driving compensation in a way that, for example, you are free to set up your radius. For example, if you're only comfortable taking jobs in a 30-mile radius, then you will get those flat rates that are just specified. But for example, if we get a job that it's like 40 miles away from you, which is 20 miles out, sorry, which is like 10 miles outside of your current 30-mile radius, then we will be compensating you for driving outside of that radius, in addition to what you get for the site survey. And also, if you need to go through any toll or something, we can also have you reimburse or cover on that. So yeah, that's pretty much what we do provide in terms of compensation.
That sounds fantastic. And so I know we're out of time, but I want to circle back to Katherine really quick, and just get one more takeaway about what has been your most positive or best point about working with the company, or what you're seeing happening with the company.
That's a good question, actually. So as a little backstory, I joined the company right in the middle of the pandemic. And everything was still looking brighter even at that point. It's still looking even more brighter at this moment. But the growth that I have seen, the growth that I have seen in the company really shows not only how it's extending the work the company has been doing, but also the state of the renewable energy market. Back when I started the company, we were maybe a little less than 80 employees. And now seeing that we are over 200, it really speaks of what we have been doing. So positive takeaways that I have so far is that I couldn't have asked to work with a better group of people. And I'm not even talking about my management or teammates. I'm also speaking with all the surveyors that we have on site every day. Sheila and I, for example, we have a very good rapport, and we can just go we can just talk over the phone, and all of a sudden we realize that we're on the phone for 30-40 minutes just talking. So it's those connections and that rapport that you build within the company, and the values that you learn through all the process and time that really makes this a special time and an enjoyable time more than anything.
Awesome. All right, we did have another question pop in there, but Katherine, can you give us your takeaway as well?
Okay, I've been in the company for less than 1 year, actually, but I think I would say the most significant takeaway that I have here is experience with other people and how to deal with day by day, because this is, even if we have a standard scenarios where we can try to get information, you would need to get the drone fly and then the electrical details and so on. Even though every single scenario, every single call, every single technician is a unique experience. So it's not the same to talk to Sheila, but it's not the same to talk to someone else. So I think this is something that I really appreciate on this position, being part of the field operation specialist team, because I'm learning all the time, and I love this experience. Not only, even if you are if you're a surveyor and you are going to a house and then the same type another house, then you're not dealing only with the people, with the homeowners, but also with the structure. You're gonna need your brain being working all the time, like, hey, okay, this is a tight space and I cannot go into the attic to do my check, and I need to solve this, and I need to call the support team for them to help me, to guide me, or maybe if I can solve it by myself. So I love the opportunity of being learning all the time. That's the most important thing for me, and that made me feel happy on this company. So that would be it.
Awesome. See, it sounds like a wonderful place. And obviously, Sheila has said nothing but great things. Really quick question, and I know they keep coming in, but we are really getting up towards the top of the hour. How frequently are the payments made?
Every 2 weeks.
Okay, Sheila's still in there. Okay.
I just got to the next house. So yeah, every 2 weeks they pay you. They pay you. This is
Okay.
key. They do pay you. It's
That
amazing.
is
Yes.
key. That is
Mhm.
key. Yes. Are you planning? Okay, I got one more. Okay, I'm sorry. We really are going to cut this off. Okay, but this is phenomenal. I love it. Are you planning on hiring any more pilots with spatial data analysts and software stitching stuff together? What packages? I think you were saying you had your own package that you're using for the flight plan.
Yes, that is correct. Well, pretty much at this moment, I would say everything within our packages, it's already built. Obviously, we're always open for feedback and improving anything that we might need to. But to answer the specific question, I have to check, but I do believe that at this moment, there's, I wouldn't say there's not the opportunity, but I don't think it's something that we're looking to do. But obviously, it's something that I can always double check if we are looking to do. But yeah, no, at the moment we are mostly hiring pilots.
Awesome. That was a great question. Because there are people that are qualified as data analysts, and people often think about just the flight gathering the data. Well, now you've got the data. What are you going to do with it? And so that was a great question, Audrey. And so with that, we are going to wrap it up because we are up at the top of the hour. We got about 4 minutes, Tal. Gives everybody a chance to be able to get ready for their next Zoom meeting, right? So thank you very much. Look at that. We even get to see Sheila this time, right?
Yay.
There she is. Thank you so
everybody.
much, both of you, Ben and Catherine. Thank you for sharing. I am excited. We did already have a lot of people say that they have reached out to you. So let's hope for good things, and can't wait to see more productivity throughout the United States. This is very exciting. Awesome. There you go. A lot of thank yous. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time and for sharing with us on the Coffee Connection. That kind of wraps it up